Hi, welcome. In this video we're going to explore how expensive is Riyadh. Check it out. So is Riyadh an expensive city? The answer is unfortunately yes. Riyadh is unfortunately not a cheap place to live or stay at. So far it has mainly catered to the business community and wealthy business people and travelers. The infrastructure for budget travelers is not yet developed, and that is particularly visible when we talk about accommodation. But let's check out the various aspects of life in Riyadh: accommodation, transport, food, and so on. The biggest cost factor will be accommodation. The infrastructure that exists so far is largely expensive hotels. You'll find occasionally a cheaper hotel, but that's usually then also in less interesting neighborhoods and parts of the city.
So how expensive is Riyadh? The bad news is it's not a cheap city. It's actually quite an expensive place to stay. It's especially difficult to find affordable accommodation, as most of the hotels and apartment buildings cater to business travelers and more wealthy audiences. So you have to calculate with at least $80 per night on the lower end of the spectrum, and of course prices can go up to $200, $400 and even $1,000 per night for some of the high-end hotels. There are some opportunities to couch surf, but the whole infrastructure for budget travelers is not really developed yet.
What do you have to expect in terms of transport? Well, actually, transport is remarkably cheap.
Getting around Riyadh is actually quite easy. The best way to do that is either through taxis or through Uber, and I never had to wait for more than 5 or 10 minutes to get a ride. The fares are quite affordable. For an inner city ride, you usually pay an average of about 15 to 20 Saudi Riyal, which is roughly around $5. The government is in the process of building a massive metro system, and they're building that all at once for the entire city. Right now that causes quite some disruptions in the traffic, but I'm sure once it's ready, it's going to set new standards in public transport here in the kingdom.
There's currently quite a bit of construction going on here in Riyadh. They're building an entirely new metro system, so expect a bit of delays in traffic throughout the city. I think it's going to be cool once it's done, but right now it's not pretty.
Another option you have is to rent a car, and I actually found that quite affordable as well. I did rent a car for one day, and it cost me, including insurance, $45, and that did include 250 kilometers. If you plan to visit places outside of the city, that can become a very interesting option because it allows you to visit places at your own pace.
What are your daily expenses for food?
If you plan to stay at an apartment and you want to cook for yourself, of course there's lots of international supermarkets and local supermarkets where you find all the food items that you want. Many of the products are imported, so don't be surprised to find lots of food items that you know from back home. But let's go to a supermarket and check out the prices ourselves.
travel here, you likely go to restaurants. Let's check out some tips on that.
You will find an abundance of restaurant options here in the city with lots of international options that cater to pretty much any taste. Prices vary. You'll find some fast food options. My favorite one is of course the shawarma, but you'll also find all the international fast food chains that we know from the US or Europe. Prices can vary quite a bit. You'll find some high-end restaurants where a menu will quickly run up to $50 to $100. But an average, if you spend $10 to $15, you'll find a good meal. There's quite a few souvenir shopping options in Riyadh, and I'm actually covering those in a separate video, so please check that out. But you definitely want to go to one of the local markets and souks where you'll find lots of traditional souvenirs and fun things to bring back home.
Alright, I hope that gave you a little bit of an idea of what to expect in terms of cost here in Riyadh. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up below and leave me a comment. What are your experiences with living and traveling here in Riyadh? And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel also below, and I see you in the next video. Wassalama and bye.